the wave.
Is that how the
wave.
queens do it?
Yeah.
Oh, we want to go into the future with you. What an entrance. Queen Na, how we doing?
Yeah.
Doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. The moves. Oh, Queen Liampa.
Are you loving this newfound fame, the recognition? Are you loving that?
Because we saw you on the red carpet.
Oh, really? Oh.
Looking very royal and splendid.
Thank you.
Indeed, how
Thank
was
you
the
so
award
much.
night for you?
I enjoyed the show, actually. I mean, this was my first time, so I actually looked forward to having fun and making sure that, you know, it was 25 years, and I felt like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And, well, to me, I feel like they met the expectations for me, so I had so much fun, yeah.
That's awesome. And speaking about meeting our expectations, ladies, you have to back me on this one. Yaz always meets our expectation. Every single product that they have in their line, it is premium back to back. So we will always recommend Yaz here. But they do have a message for all of you listening to us tonight or today on the Ladies Circle. They're asking you, are you having to check several times? Changing outfits because you're not sure, or even canceling appointments to prevent any embarrassment. Sometimes even feeling insecure, especially during that time of the month. But Yaz is to the rescue, because that means you've never used Yaz. You're always covered with Yaz. You feel confident, with no stress, and with the Yaz Extra Long, Yaz Minty, Yaz Heavy Flow, or Yaz Herbal, you can also try all the new Yaz Minty Extra Long Sanitary Pad. Ooh, that's a mouthful. It comes in mint with extra long wings, free panty liners, and a disposable bag. With this, you're always good to go. So choose Yaz and choose right. Alrighty.
Well, speaking of choosing right, well, Woody knows that the watchers of the Ladies Circle are super, super fashionable individuals indeed. And that's why they want you to hit up any Woodine retail shop nationwide today. Woodine offers an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics and ready-to-wear that come in beautiful designs and colors for both men and women. With Woodine, you can get versatile, you can get creative with your designs, you can be confident and show off how truly African you are in Woodine. So today, soon as the show is over, maybe not, they might be closed, but on Monday, or maybe they're open on a Sunday near you, hit up Woodine, make sure you're getting something beautiful for yourself and the rest of the family, something that truly complements your unique style. Follow Woodine Fashion on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. Woodine is still le créateur. On that note, we'll go on our very first commercial break. When we come back, we have a lot in store for you. You don't want to miss it. We will be right back.
Yeah, this is Ladies Circle.
Many thanks to Yaz Sanitary Pad, MTN, Yamvita, Onga,
Cowbell, our milk. Yeah, this is Ladies Circle.
Welcome back. This is the Ladies Circle on a TV3, the best 1 hour on a Saturday evening. And tonight we're kicking it with Queen Naa Ayeley all hour long. It's going to be super interesting. So make sure you're gathered around the set all evening long. And hopefully you have your snacks in stock so you don't have to move an inch. We'll get stuck straight into our first topic, and this one concerns all of us because it's about the safety of Ghanaians nationwide. And we know year on year we record a lot of road traffic accidents and a lot of deaths, in excess of over 1,500 deaths on our roads each year, with about 40% of those deaths coming from motorcycle accidents. Very, very staggering indeed. And in recent times, we've seen some of our favorite celebrities involved in some of these unfortunate accidents. And you come across some of the pictures and the cars are mangled beyond repair, and you're just, happy that at least some life is preserved. But that isn't always the case, as we've seen very recently. Lewin was involved in an accident that sadly claimed the life of a 3-year-old, and that saga is still unfolding. So now I'll come to you on this one. What do you make of of, in fact, how we use our roads as car owners, as pedestrians, as passengers. Rate the state of Ghana roads in your assessment.
A pattern question.
It is, isn't it?
If I'm to rate it, I think to me it's below average.
Below average.
Yeah, below
I think we can
average.
agree with that.
Yes, yes. You know, there are a lot of factors that come to play when it comes to these matters of reckless driving. I feel like some of them stem from the terrible conditions of our roads in society. Also, sometimes the irresponsibility of the drivers, and even as passengers, I feel like sometimes we do not even do our quota in making sure that these things are observed. For instance, in the public transport, you may notice that a driver is, driving recklessly, and as passengers, we are all in a hurry to get to our destination, so we are not even making an attempt to correct them or bring them back on track. So we all play roles in these happenings recently.
Yeah. And then we've also now seen that, you know, celebrities are involved more and more in these car crashes. I mean, you talk about the poor state of the roads. That one goes without saying. The issue of street lights.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes you drive in some parts of the capital and you'll be shocked. I'm thinking, are we driving on muscle memory, by faith?
Yeah.
It's really by luck and by God's grace that you're able to get from point A to B.
I
You
saw a
also
tweet, actually. Someone
Yes.
said in Accra, you need to drive with memory.
with memory, honestly. But ladies, weigh in on this for me. Do you feel safe on our roads when you ply the roads day in and day out, morning, noon, and night? I don't know, Ella, do you feel safe
Honestly,
on Ghanaian roads? Talk to us.
It's the grace of God, to be very honest, because we definitely need to move from where we are to, you know, where we need to be. And so it's not like, even though we don't feel safe, even though we have our questions and everything, we still need to move. And so really and truly, I mean, most of the time we don't even, we've done it so much that it's become like a usual thing. Oh, I'm going, let's just go. But if you think about it sometimes, if you think about the way some of these accidents even happen, knowing that you just literally came out of that kind of situation and yours, nothing even happened to you, that's when you realize that really and truly it is by the grace of God that, you know, we're just moving in a crowd. But like Naa said, there's so many factors that come to play when it comes to the roads. Talk about reckless driving, talk about, you know, people driving under the influence, talk about the roads. As for the street lights and all those things, sometimes I don't know at this point. Maybe we should just, at this point, everybody should just in their corner do contribution and do the street light, because we've been talking about this times without number. And it's not even because we just want to see the lights, but it's because the highways, the most important places that a street light needs to be, sometimes you're just moving, and until you get very close to the object, you don't even know that it's something.
I mean, and not also because we want our streets to be illuminated. We actually pay. Every time you buy electricity, 1% goes towards your street lights. So this isn't even a case of we're just looking for lights. We actually pay for the lights to be on. So why?
Let me touch on that. Just kind of seeing, like, you dropped the stats, which is absolutely staggering, to know that these are the stats, to find out even recently that this young 3-year-old has lost his life just meaninglessly
like
over some of these issues. And I think everybody has literally outlined all the issues there are. It just kind of takes me back to when my dad was teaching me how to drive. And he would literally say, Sika, when you get on the road, you don't only have to think about yourself, but you have to think about every other driver. So you're not driving just for you, you're driving with every other driver in mind.
So Sika, break it down for us. When you say defensive driving, it's like you're preempting what somebody else
preempting
do.
what somebody could possibly do to put your life in danger, and you put their lives in danger. And I used to think, oh, old man way, or kasadudu.
Until you got behind the wheel.
Until I got behind the wheels and realized that a lot of my close calls when it comes to accidents, the fact that I was able to maneuver and survive was because I was always thinking, what if this person does this? If you think about it, if you were not overspeeding, if you were actually driving defensively, some of these things will not happen, you know? So as much as it was an accident, and accidents happen, and we have to sort of like acknowledge that, we also have to acknowledge the role that we play, and especially us as public figures who are supposed to be upholding the law, being the role models, even though we don't ask for it, but being the role models, because unfortunately you are judged by a different standard. We have to just make sure that at least, in the least, we do our bit to ensure that these accidents don't happen.
Yeah, I think that most of the time, some of these personalities feel like they can get away with these things based on their fame. I mean, like Sika rightly said, accidents happen, but then if we play a major role, we can avoid most of these things. So I feel like I'm actually impressed with what is happening right now. I've seen that some of these corporates are being apprehended, and I think that that is a good step for other people. So for even these personalities or these celebrities would know that if things like this happen, they are not going to be left out. They can also have to deal with the law. And so it's going to be a great lesson to most of these celebrities.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel
so.
like celebrities should know that they have so much power, they possess so much power that some of them do not know, and they have great influence on society. I am hoping, I think the word I should use is hoping. Yes, I'm hoping that this is a great lesson to other celebrities so that they do the right thing.
I mean, to be fair, nobody does these things with the intention of causing accidents
That's right.
or killing someone or losing their lives. So regardless, what they must be going through, Lil Wayne, for instance, must be going through a lot right now, just knowing that his actions or his lack thereof was the cause of this little boy losing his life. I mean, and it's probably literally burdening him right now.
There's a very recent scenario where I think someone was recording a video of him driving on like a highway, and he was making a comment about someone else's reckless driving, but he was driving at about 120 or 100.
Filming?
Yes, so he was filming. So people actually didn't even focus on what he was talking about, but they said this is so much for somebody that is driving at 100 kilometers per hour. You are talking about something else that is happening. You're filming at the same time. We also had an issue, I think a couple of months or years back. There was an issue where I think EL or someone was doing like a live video in his car, and he had the laptop and he was driving. And people were like, you know what, go off, go off, go off. You know, it was actually there. So I remember it so clearly because I actually jammed on that live. And so there's so many scenarios where we take a lot of things for granted. Too much. Even, I mean, from like every single person down to, like she said, even the passenger in the car. Every single person plays a role. Even the person that is standing on the side of the road that is just, waiting to board a car. Sometimes you see that they even stand so close to the road that is even literally in your way. So there are a lot of things that are happening. I feel like every single person is sort of depending on the other person to do the right thing. But once you're able to know that, okay, I am the one that is responsible for my own space and my own time at that point. Because sometimes, listen, truth be told, you're just driving on your own side and somebody from somewhere
just come and knock you.
Someone from somewhere, it's not even you. Some motor rider will just come through and...
But that's where the dash cams help, because then you can prove your innocence and prove that, listen, I was in my lane and I was doing the right thing. Because a lot of those motorcyclists, as soon as it happens, their first thing is to act like, is it offensive or defensive? Like come to you and be like, hey, you are the one, you did this. But if we had a dash cam in every car, imagine how many would have caught it from all different angles.
Our road traffic accidents, over 40% of them are from motorcycle crashes alone. And I do feel bad for those who lose a limb to the motorcycle crashes. So we have to also start recognizing that we have motorcyclists also on our road. It's come to stay. So they have to be careful.
They're the true put celebrities aside. Those motorcycles.
Put celebrities aside. I mean, for celebrities, it's because they're in the limelight, and so we get to see and then it goes on and on and on, and everybody weighs in. But listen, every single person has a role to play when it comes to, like, everyone. Even talk about safety measures.
That's right.
Common seat belt wearing.
Some people will clip it because it's making noise. They'll clip it behind them so that the noise will stop.
Till they're getting to the police.
The police before they snap up.
You know, talk about even the motorcycles. Apparently, they have like a whole,
gear.
The gear they're supposed
strap
to wear
them in
from the top to the elbow to the knee. They have to wear a full thing. But even the helmet
is a
doesn't see
problem.
it. You know, every single, they're just very, very little things. Don't put a child in front.
Yeah.
You know,
that
those little
too.
things, you know, we don't even consider them because
Yes.
it's like, I've been on this road for a while. I mean, I have experience. I can use, I've done this on the first
Listen,
time.
we're all guilty, so
I
maybe
know.
we should. We're all
No,
guilty.
it starts with us. And I love that we're
We're all
passionate
guilty.
about this because losing over sometimes 2,000 lives every year on our roads needlessly. I mean, in other jurisdictions, they record 16 deaths a year on in the roads, 100 at most.
Yeah.
Why can't that be us? We too can strive for excellence on our roads.
Actually, I also think that most of the time we tend to think that these things are being done to us. Like, you know, all these things we are talking about, people would neglect them because they feel like we are just like as a border to them or something. But then if we psych ourselves that these things are being done for us for our own safety, because mind you, if you go on the road and decide to neglect these rules and do what you like, you may go and you'll be involved in an accident. And when you're involved in an accident, it's you. You can lose your life. I mean, some people survive, but even after surviving, what you have to deal with is a lot.
If you, by unfortunate means, have an accident like Lil Wayne has with this young boy, he would have to foot quite a lot of finances
not
and
just his
expenses,
side.
not just his side, but that side as well. Do you understand? And then the mental trauma, the emotional trauma of all of that. Like I said, accidents do happen, but I feel like if you are being defensive, if you're thinking about driving and driving well and following all the rules, right? Then there's a great chance that you can go through this without being scarred, and that's what we really want.
Yes.
Listen, I love the, like she said, we are so passionate about this particular topic. I think we can talk about it, like, you know, as long as we can. And every single advice that has been given, hopefully, you know, we can take something out of it and just apply it to ourselves and then be extra, extra careful on the roads. But we have a queen here. You know, we've done enough of the roads. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your journey. Let's talk about the year after GM. Let's talk about your project. You know, you decided to do streetism. What was it about this particular one that you felt that, okay, this is what I need to do with the exposure that I've had on this platform?
Okay, so I've been in Accra my whole life. I mean, I'm Ghanaian, so, and growing up, I've had to see lots of these people on the streets, from kids to men to women to people with disabilities and what have you. And I've always imagined myself in those positions because there's something I always say, that if we were not blessed to have found ourselves in the positions we did, we could have been like them. And so I have felt the emotions they have felt, and I had always said that one day when I get the opportunity, I would try my best to do something for these people. And I love kids. I love kids so much. So I'm looking at the broad umbrella of streetism. I mean, there are women, there are all of, you know, all these people, but I wanted to do mine for the kids out there because I see myself in them. And so that's what drove me to choose this project. Even before I came for the auditions, I had already gone to them on the streets to interact with them, hang out with them, talk to them, get to know, more like a survey, get to know them and what really makes these things happen. And so that when I get the opportunity, I can be in a better position to see the solutions that I can give to them.
And Ona, I wanted to ask, for those who are equally as passionate about street kids as you are, what do you recommend we can do in our own little corner to support those who are less fortunate and living on the streets?
Okay. The goal is to take them off the streets. They have developed so much love on the streets. They have some purpose there, and it will take a while to orient them off the street. So as individuals, I feel like we can do a part by talking to these kids. If you have the capabilities and you can help one kid off the street, maybe it may not necessarily be a home. Probably she or he has a home, but it needs some funds or needs some support with school. There are government schools now. There are schools out there. You may have an influence where you could just talk to a particular school to help this kid with his fees, scholarship. And then that is just what would help that kid off the streets, you understand? So there are many ways, but you wouldn't know unless you talk to them. So instead of feeding them and giving them monies on the streets, talk to them, ask them, what do they want? What do they need? And if you can, if you can't as well, reach out to people that you can collaborate with to help them.
Yeah.
So if one person if you tell yourself that I want to take one kid off the street, how many kids will be left now? And we are quite a lot.
Yeah.
And most of us can. The street.
Now, do you think some of these kids or people on the streets have maybe, for lack of a better word, become so used to the streets or actually gain benefit somehow? They prefer to be on the streets because not a lot, well, I can't put that, but maybe some of them don't necessarily want to leave the streets. Have you encountered that? How do you navigate those situations?
Yes. So I have encountered some of these situations where they'll be like, I don't want to go. Me, this is where I want to be.
Because school is a lot of
Some of them,
commitment.
there are people that would necessarily do not want to be in school. Some of them told me, oh, we want to learn certain trades. I want to be a mechanic. I want to be this. I want to be that. You understand? So if we identify these problems, we can help them. Yes, they may have been deriving some benefits, but like he said, everyone has a desire. The reason his desire has not been met yet. And so until that desire has been met, he would always go on to make the money off the street. And some of them, I remember I encountered a situation. One little boy raised his shirt and showed me some marks on his rib, where he told me that every time when people help them, when people stop their cars and give them some money, they have these older people who are in some corners targeting them. So they see that, okay, you have been giving money, they come to you and they are so violent and abusive. Yes, and they take
money.
Yes, they take the money from them. They have so many marks to prove that point. So you would know that the money you are even giving them it's not for them.
What are some of the things that you've been able to achieve? I mean, recently we saw a video of you, Medical Kobiche, you know, providing for some school children and all those.
Yes. So, like I rightly said, I love kids, and so things concerning kids in society. I mean, aside the fact that I am an ambassador for child streetism, doesn't mean that any other thing that is not under that category does not concern me. So when Kobiche posted the videos and the pictures of that, I was very sad. I actually broke down. I'm like, this is not fair. Unfortunately, it was in my region as well, so I felt like the need to be on board. So I contacted him and said, I want to help these kids. I have some learning materials and some things that I could also do to help them. Then Medical also came on board, and we went together to help them. We went to paint the classrooms for them ourselves, and I mean, provided them with the seats and table, and they were so happy. Honestly, you never know the effects these things have on these kids. They were so happy, and that was it for me. I was fulfilled. I felt so satisfied that I was on board with such a project.
Well, I've been talking about projects. The time is here again, and the opportunity has been provided for some other ladies to also come and audition, go through the entire phase, and hopefully come out victorious. But so Tamale auditions have already gone on. That was just yesterday, and then Kumasi is on the 9th of June at McLean Hotel, Takrade 11th of June at Rainbow Hotel, Accra 15th June, TV3 premises. So make sure that you come through. I mean, the rate is just 50 Ghana cedis. You pick up a form, you fill it, and then you join the train. It's at 8 a.m. every single day. So make sure you come dressed in your beautiful outfit, you know, your beautiful white top, your jeans, your heels, very comfortable heels, please. Make sure you're comfortable in those heels that you're wearing, and so that you can come through here. But any tips you have for the people, you know, those who are looking to come for the audition? Tell them it's not easy.
Tips, as for the tips, there are lots of it. I think that you should do your best to watch all the auditions, because if you want something, you want to be on a show, I feel like you should watch the past.
Have an idea.
Yes, have an idea. Just get to know what they do on the show. So on YouTube, just go.
That's
Ghana's
actually
most
great
beautiful.
advice for so many different genres and so many different things.
Yes.
Do your research.
Do your research, because before GMB auditions, I had watched every single audition from any episode at all.
Anyone you
on
can
YouTube.
lay your hand on.
Anyone, whether it doesn't concern me, any year, and not just Greater Accra representatives. I watch every region, and the show itself, every season, I've watched all of it. So you should do that as well.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
How many times did you audition before you finally got chosen?
I auditioned twice. So the first one in 2020.
How far did you go?
To the final end.
Oh,
Yeah, I went through medicals and everything.
okay.
Yes.
But you weren't picked for the final
Yes.
16. Oh,
Yes,
okay. And then you
yes.
came
So
back.
yes.
You know, just understanding the psyche of judges and what they're looking for.
Exactly.
And then you can work on yourself. And
Yes.
then maybe one day you will be on the lady circle
Yes.
with this beautiful sash. Speaking to us and the fabulous ladies. You know, we have so many fabulous ladies on the lady circle. So yeah, so congratulations again.
Thank
Well
you.
done. I
Thank
think that
you
was
so
great
much.
tips. And I hope if you are planning on auditioning for this year, come with your A game. Well, listen, I might actually audition this year.
Sorry?
If you're going to compete this year, come with that spirit, you know. That's what's going to propel you further. All right, we have so much more on the Ladies Circle. We're going to take a quick break. Go for a little snack. What's that TikTok? Quick snack. Quick snack. And come right back. This is the Ladies Circle.